being stupid is actually a good thing. Because the stupidest guys out there are approaching the girl who becomes their wife. They're the guys creating businesses that hit six-figure credentials, while the smart guys are still sitting out there, researching, planning, and ultimately accomplishing nothing. This video breaks down why being stupid is your cheat code. Enjoy. I'm gonna be very honest with you, I've always, in my entire life, been very intelligent. And I'm not saying that to brag or whatever, but it's for the point of this video. I've always been very intelligent, and I actually cared about school, and I was very devoted to school. My teachers would often tell my mom that I was like a sponge. Whatever you told me once, I would soak it up and understand it. I had a 99 GPA when I was actually serious about school. That's my grade point. At my average grade was a 99 in my classes. But when I got shot into the real world and I had bills to pay and I was married and I had real problems to solve, I felt stupid. And I felt stupid because a smart guy made all these choices that society deemed wrong, right? I'm not a very politically correct person. And in today's society, I would say that matters. And for me not being that, I was persecuted by my school. I was case filed by my school. The school literally investigated me. People always say things about me. I got a lot of eyes on me because of the fact that I wasn't very politically correct. I got married at 19. I didn't wait to get married. I didn't wait till I had a stable job. I wanted to get married, so I got married. I did not pursue any specific career field because I didn't want to be in a career field. I pursued making a fucking YouTube channel. And people bashed me for this. People called me stupid. People said I was throwing my life away. People said that I was going to be good for nothing. And so I tried to prove that I was smart, and I got serious. I cut out friends, I cut out activities, I cut out doing fun stuff. I barely was going outside. I stopped caring about my health. I stopped caring about my fitness. I closed down my gym membership. I didn't go to the gym for 4 months. I wasn't eating healthy at all. I was eating fucking bowls of Fruity Pebble every single day. I was just working as much as I possibly could on my channel. And you wanna know what it led to? Absolutely zero fucking results. I didn't make a single dollar. My channel didn't grow any better. My health and fitness obviously didn't get better. My relationships worsened, and my life overall just got worse and sucked more. And so when this happened, I went through a genuine crisis. So a couple weeks after I got married, I went through a genuine crisis where I did not know what the fuck to do. I was like, do I quit YouTube? Do I go and pursue some fucking trade job and become an HVAC and fucking trade worker? Do I get into construction? What am I gonna do with myself? Because I wanted to so hard. I wanted people to see me as the smart guy they've always seen me as, and right now everyone thinks I'm stupid. So let me go out there and let me actually do something respectable. And it was in that moment where I was up at night, not able to go to sleep, that I realized something. I was going through a crisis, and I was more miserable, more sad, less productive, less fulfilled, trying to prove that I was smart than I was when I was just letting myself be stupid. See, brother, in my opinion, being stupid is actually the highest form of intelligence that there is in this modern world. Because like I said earlier, the stupid guy walks up to the girl. You and me, the smart guy, sit there thinking about, and we're sitting there trying to plan the words we're going to say to her and how we're going to walk up, and he just walks up to her and he takes the girl you would have liked to marry. The stupid guy, he starts the business, gets an LLC, makes a logo, and starts creating content. He gets straight to it. While we, smart guy, try to make the same business, but we sit there constantly contemplating if this is the right logo, the right name, the right branding. We never post, we never make a move, we never make a product. What happens? By the time we get to actually making our business, the stupid guy already took all of our customers. It's fucking crazy, but it is true. The question still remains, how can you actually tap into this stupidity and kind of retard max life to get the most out of it, like the stupid guy that we were talking about? What can you do? What are the 3 shifts you can make to actually take advantage of this? To me, the first shift is shifting from proof to play. Self-improvement has spent thousands of hundreds of dollars as an industry to brainwash you into believing that the social cool guy, the guy that's going out with his friends, going out with people, is relatable, is friendly, can be talked to, is outgoing. They have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just remember the last Hamza video you watched, trying to tell you that this guy's lame as hell, and that this guy's not cool, and that he's actually just super insecure and trying to prove himself to everyone. While trying to convince you that the super lame guy that sits inside all day, works on his business all day, has nothing to do with himself, he's super cool because he's super disciplined. And of course they sell you this so they can tell you a program about being super boring and being super disciplined and staying inside and being locked in all day. But here's the truth of the matter. The more complicated, more nuanced truth of the matter. Both suck. Both options are terrible. That being said, nowhere in the book of life does it say that for you to be moving the world forward, have a purpose, be a man, provide for your people, you have to be a boring dipshit who locks himself away in a room 24/7. Nowhere in the book of life does it say that. Because here's the truth. Being the cool, popular guy obsessed with people pleasing sucks. But being the lonely, boring nerd who's locked in all day, I promise you, it sucks as well. Because you can be locked in. You can be working with a bunch of vigor, with a bunch of focus, without any distractions, and still having fun and still working with a sort of romance for the work you do, with this sort of devotion and care for what you are creating. You can work out and go to the gym, but you can work out and go to the gym like a Spartan warrior, like a man training for a battle, like a man training for war. You can go there with purpose, with strength, right? With a aliveness to you. You don't have to go in there and just do the workout and just be fucking dead 24/7. And you can go work. The thing that you're making is going to save the world. You can go talk to your wife like this is the last time you guys will ever talk and the world's fucking ending. There is a life to live. And the more you try to be this super lonely nerd that's super socially outcasted and he's focused and no one understands him, the less life you're living. So go out there and yes, be disciplined, but have fun. Make a story, be wild, do cool shit. I remember seeing on X, or Twitter as it was once called, a video of this guy who like interviews people on the subway, and he was interviewing the guy that played Elvis in the last movie. I don't fucking know what his name is, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'll put up an image. And he was interviewing the guy, and I don't remember the question he asked him, but I do remember the answer that the actor gave, because it was such a beautiful answer. And he was pretty much saying that embarrassment and shame and all these sort of emotions that we have negatively, that we run away from, are areas of yourself you've never explored. And that quote has stuck on to me, has been constantly replaying through my head. And because think about it, you sit there and you calculate, you try to avoid shame, you try to make sure that you're doing something that you won't be embarrassing, you're trying to make sure you assess the risk correctly because you want to make sure you don't fail. But failure, embarrassment, shame, anger, sadness, boredom, these are all these negative emotions that you try to be so calculated to avoid, and you try to run away with all your power. All of these emotions, if you had the courage to tap into them, are areas of yourself, areas of your personality, your subconscious, your conscious, your entire soul and being. These are areas of your soul that you have never explored. And just imagine the nuggets, the diamonds, the bullets that you will get from this area of yourself that you've never explored, that you can fire out and you can use to attack with all of your might all the problems in your life. Because don't you think that the man who understands the embarrassed side of himself, the angry side of himself, the bored side of himself, the sad side of himself, the man that actually understands his entire being, don't you think that he is more able, he's more capable of handling the things life throws at him than the guy who doesn't understand that, who only knows himself as the guy that has to be happy and motivated all the time? Of course he does. Because at the end of the day, think about this, brother. Courage, and every man wants to be courageous. It's not logical, is it? You're going against the logic of your fears. Love isn't logical. If love was logical, none of us would fall in love. Love is magical. It's not illogical. The way I like to tell people is that all these things, courage, love, loyalty, all these things that we value so much, hard work, all of these things, they're not illogical. They're outside of logic. Doesn't mean they are logical. They are outside of the game of logic completely. Rationally, a lot of those things don't make sense. Logically, it makes no sense to be courageous. It makes sense to be safe. It doesn't make sense to be loyal. It makes sense to watch out for yourself. It doesn't make sense to fall in love and love things. It makes sense to be detached and protect yourself. But those are the best things you will ever do. And if you don't have love, courage, and loyalty, and brotherhood, and discipline in your life, I promise you will be miserable. And the last shift you can make to end the video is you need to go from optimization to action. Because the smart guy optimizes his plan until it's perfect, which it never will be. And the stupid guy, he just acts, and through his action builds a decent plan that actually helps him accomplish his goals. Because guess what? You've heard of the saying, never let perfect get in the way of good. But what you haven't heard, maybe you haven't heard this, is that you should never let good get in the way of meh. And you should never even let meh get in the way of shit, because shit is better than nothing. I'd rather go to the gym. You tell me, would you rather never go to the gym or always go to the gym on time every single week, 4 or 5 times a week, but every single time you have a shit workout? Which one is better? Would you rather never work on your dreams, or for 2-3 hours every day, you have 3 hours of focused work on your dreams and you spend the rest of the day doing bullshit? Which one would you like? Shit is better than nothing. Because at the end of the day, I saw this on a Reddit post a while ago and it changed my life. If something is worth doing, it is also worth half-ass doing. Listen, brother, let me leave you one last thing. If you're feeling stupid, lean into it. Retard Mac. Brace the embarrassment. Risk the anxiety Take a risk. Explore the emotions you've been running away from. Do the things you've been afraid to do. Because the only difference between you and the guy who's accomplished all your dreams is that he was stupid enough to try.